Thanks for watching our live stream, live from Coverings, North America's largest tile and stone expo. I'm Irene Williams here on behalf of the show. I'm getting to interview some really fabulous tile and stone industry personalities. And here with me, oh my goodness, you've been called the Lady Gaga of the tile industry. Did you know this?
I've heard it before.
I think you probably. This is Allison Eden, you guys. She's an amazing mosaic artist. We're so honored to have you here. Please look her up. There's too much to tell in a bio, so we will just let all of this speak. If this is what she's wearing, imagine the incredible art that she creates. She's so cool.
Thank you.
So I met you on social media, because you were, just so visually exciting. So, hi, you're an exhibitor here at the show.
Me.
Of course. So somebody like you, you've got lots going on, but you choose to exhibit here at this show. Do tell why you come back.
So I've exhibited at Coverings for 15 years, and I've made all my contacts here, and it's actually a wonderful show to do, because every year I get to see not only my suppliers but my friends, and it's a really fun show to do. I love stone, I love tile, and I love seeing everything that's new and exciting and what we can bring to the table to our distributors as well.
Yeah. So it's like the mothership.
It really is. I mean, everybody comes to Coverings.
So when you started 15 years ago, how young was your company at that
Well,
point?
I actually started my company 30 years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah,
No
I've been
way.
doing this for quite some time. But I think Coverings is 15, 16
It's
years?
almost 30 years old, actually,
Oh, wow.
the show itself.
Okay. So
I know.
Well,
I saw a sign earlier today. I didn't realize.
So we might have been doing it longer than 15 years. I always try to, but we've been doing it so long.
Okay.
And it's just a great place to come to see what's new and fresh and exciting. And really, it's just a great place to all gather and see each other.
Yeah. And for you as a business person, does it still hold that viability in terms of, because a lot of people know you now, but do you meet new opportunities?
Yes, I do meet so many new people, and new stores and new ways of doing business is actually happening. Like more internet type of programs. In our booth, we have this new virtual reality, and you could put the pattern in, and it shows what it looks like in a room. And I'm not very computer literate, but it's so easy to say, we do all these crazy patterns, big unicorns and hearts and lips and rainbows, and people sometimes don't want to show big, huge boards because they won't be the everyday sale. But now you can put it right on a computer and say, well, look at the way these unicorns look.
Yeah.
Look at a room full of lips. And or
She actually does this stuff, folks. I mean, it's so awesome.
And we make it all by hand in Brooklyn.
Have you always been in Brooklyn?
Well, I was in Manhattan for
Okay.
20 years.
Gotcha.
And then we lost our lease, and as with every other artist, you had to leave the city and go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
very cool there.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just really curious to know, because I met you through the socials. So it's interesting. I didn't understand the longevity of your career, that you've been around that long. Because to me, you're just this making of the social realm. But so when did you meet tile and love it and want to make it a permanent relationship? Because clearly you're a creative person. So what was it about tile?
Well, I was going to college at Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, and I walked by a store downtown, and they sold glass. And I just wandered in, and they had all these beautiful colored glass sheets, and I was pulling them out, and they were hot pink and red, and just the colors were magnificent. So I bought a few sheets, and I broke it with a hammer, and I glued them to a board, and I kept them in my handbag. And while I was going to school, I was in the garment center, so I would go from building to building to see, are you looking to renovate or redecorate? I have a great idea. Just look at this wall finishing. And I had no idea that even to put grout inside. I didn't even know what grout was. So I got a job, and I had to learn how to do it. And my first real big job was a Burger King, which was so strange. I got a call. Okay, so I opened a teeny little studio right after college, and I'd sit there with my phone and my fax and figure out, what do I do to get people to see this? So I took out 100 ads in the yellow pages. I said I was an architect, an interior designer, a contractor, an art, name it all.
Yeah.
And so this Burger King said, we need a floor in 3 weeks, and we can't find anybody in the tri-state area that will be able to do this. And I was like, oh, you've come to the right place. I do this all the time. And I got the job. I had no idea what flooring even was. And so I rented a car, I went to Home Depot, I got a video on how to tile a floor. And I tiled the whole Burger King floor. Which was
Did you have sidekicks with you?
Well,
helping?
yes, I had some people to help me.
This is a solo operation.
Well, I knew that there had to be mesh laid out from the video, and I didn't have a phone to refer to because there were no phones in the 90s, and I can't even believe I got the job. And
destiny.
But I did it, and I did the Brazilian wave throughout the entire the entire Burger King, and the building stayed for so many years, and I got free burgers every time I went in, and they were they loved their floor, and I had never done a floor. And after that, I figured, this is not difficult. It's really I thought very therapeutic to sit there and do flooring.
Yeah.
And I was dating my husband at the time, and who now works with me, and he came and he's like, what in the world are you doing? And he sat there and watched
building our future, honey.
Right? He was working on Wall Street. He was totally opposite of me. I was crazy. He was amused by the whole thing, she's never gonna be able to do it, and I did it. And so that was I realized if you put your mind to something and you really love something, you're gonna do it, and you'll do a good job if you really want to.
But I'm intrigued because you're clearly an artist, but also that entrepreneurial, there's some kind of business savvy going on there to just put yourself out, all those ads and say, I can do it.
Right. Well, I was young. I didn't know when you're 21 what in the world you're supposed to do with your life. But I always knew that I really wanted to do my own thing. I didn't think I was super employable. So I figured I'd rather
invent my path,
Right, I figured I'd like to do something myself. And just by walking by the store one day and seeing this beautiful material, I fell in love with it. And I actually recently went back to fashion design, hence my outfit. It's my tile.
Yes.
So we came up with a line of fabrics in all of our patterns, and so now we're making clothing from the fabrics, and
how cool.
We'll be selling at Bloomingdale soon.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh, you guys, that's so cool.
So I'm trying to we're doing carpeting and wallpaper. I just think that it all encompasses design, and design is so important, and design matters.
Right.
And then I love color, and I think that color is coming back, and I think that people need to be bold. And I always say, you live once, you're not coming back, so have a good time now. And it's such a short time that we're here. You want that cake, eat it. You want to, do what you want to do in your life.
I was interviewing you today, and I'm in this simple black dress, and I knew I would be the ultimate contrast to whatever you were going to be sporting for this.
Beautiful.
Thank you. But seriously, there was a color code for one of my clients, so I'm in black. But I would love to have some color like you're rocking today. But okay. Yeah. So you went from the Burger King floor, which was surprise, I can do it, and that was because I know of you mostly for residential work. So what led from there to the next thing? How have I come to know you more residentially than just commercial Burger King flooring?
So I didn't know of tile stores, and fast forward a few years, 9/11 happened, and I was married, and my husband worked on Wall Street and wanted a whole life change, and he decided to come and work with me. And he came into my studio right after, and I was working on the floor, listening to my disco music, having the greatest time. And he was like, you need a desk, you need a computer, you need a telephone, you need to make this happen. So I think the real brains behind the business part of our business was Gary.
Okay.
Because he came in and he really streamlined, and I could do what I loved doing, and that was creating and designing and playing and having, fun with color and patterns. And so he really made the business happen.
Yeah. So is that when you kind of started coming to coverings and
Yes.
okay.
So he came to coverings one year and walked around and said, this is our show. And so he wouldn't miss it for anything.
Gotcha.
There's been years I'm like, maybe we should take a year off and walk it. And he's like, nope. Like, it's very important. If you're in the tile business, you should be supporting your trade shows. I believe. I think that you should have some type of presence. So trade shows are very important, and I go to many of them in the Javits Center that aren't even in the design business, just to walk and see and learn what's going on in our world. I went to a biotech convention. I don't even know what biotech is. But for all you single girls, a lot of good-looking guys. But I think it's really good to be up and knowing what's going on around you, because the world is changing so fast.
Oh,
and
unreal. Yeah.
It's happening fast. Yeah.
Yes. So when I think of what you do, it seems so very custom. And yet you talk about distributors and your customers. And so how do you keep that flair that is so unique and yet expand what you're doing to answer the needs of more, what I think of more as institutionalized businesses that need predictability and stock and inventory?
Well, we are very fast at what we do. You're not waiting, for an overseas boat to come in. You need something, we can do it quickly. And many times people are like, oh, we forgot to order the backsplash. Can we get it next week? Yes, you can get it. We'll do it. We want to do it. All of our products are domestically made, and so if it's all domestic and it's here anyways, you're not waiting for anything, and we need to move the products and even in the crazy funky patterns, they can be in gray. It's all about the color the color palettes people choose. But we're very, very we're all, our glass is recycled, and I think that our little capsule of a company is a very important one that we really offer, super, super unique. And if you could dream it, we can do it. I mean, I love drawing, I love creating, and I love making repeat patterns. So,
And in terms of your business segmentation, residential versus commercial, because you mentioned the burger, like I said, I think of you as residential, but clearly there's a commercial application. So how does that balance in the marketplace today for you?
So I have a big presence in casinos and cruise ships. I would say we're basically half and half at this point.
Wow.
We sell to 400 tile stores, and I do my commercial work with the same designers I've worked with forever. So I really don't go out and look for designers. I've had the same people that I've worked with, and they do all the big ships, and there's only a few of them that are really that have the market on everything.
Right.
And so they're super, super supportive, and it's
awesome. So of all these amazing jobs that you do, is there one that, or two or three, that stand out that you're like, that's my baby, that really shows my artistry?
I think they're all my babies. Like, I feel like I give birth to these babies and then they disappear and they go somewhere and I never see them again. And I mean, there's so much love that goes into every project. So, I feel like, how do you choose your favorite child? Well, one that was actually like a really interesting one was I did a project for the government in Barrow, Alaska. We did a hospital, and the hospital was given to the Inupiat Indians, and it was so it was beyond fabulous. And I think we did thousands of square feet, and the contractor got mauled by a polar bear, and like it was really.
That actually happened?
This happened. Well, because it was built in the glaciers. So they asked me to come there to approve, what was the installation. And I thought they were joking. So like 5 plane rides later, I had to go on a cargo plane. I got there, and the whole place was so colorful inside. And they said that Barrow, Alaska has such a high suicide rate because it's dark 6 months out of the year, and they needed color, so they thought the perfect person to bring color would be us.
You, yes.
And so the contractor actually lived, and we became friends, and he comes to New York now. But to go there to see that, I met the mayor. The mayor came, and he thanked us for adding such happiness to their hospital, because the suicide rate was so terrible. And now we did their community center, their one hotel. And so I've done so much in this teeny little town in the glaciers.
Amazing.
So that was like I thought a beautiful thing.
That is so beautiful. Well, thank you for thinking of that one, because I know you have so many that you could talk about, but there are great layers to that story. Yes. And for you, what do you do in your own home? How do you express your tile style in your own house?
Well, I've tiled most everything, everything that I can.
The bed frame?
No, all the bathrooms, just interesting places people wouldn't think, but it's really, really beautiful.
Do you change it out a lot?
No, because I would never want to hurt the original tile. And it's actually, the apartment's 100 years old, and it has the original tile, so I kept the original, and then I mosaicked. So it's to
it's a good juxtaposition.
Yes, it looks quite beautiful.
Awesome. So it's the first day of the show. We are just getting started. Do you have any in particular hopes, dreams, plans for the craziness that's to come the remaining days of this show?
Well,
more of the same.
Yeah, well, I think it's so much fun seeing everybody. It's really tiring because you're like out all night with everybody, and you speak to people all day long, and it's a constant grind. I need this order, I need that, you never see face to face, and when you actually see each other, it's beautiful. It's so nice. I've seen so many faces today, and I don't even have to, even if I've never seen them before, if I hear their voice, I know exactly who they are. Mm-hmm. So I think it will just be a great gathering of friends. It just becomes one big party. Yeah. I never come here to sell. Mm-hmm. I mean, people will be like, oh, okay, I want this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, just call me, we'll do, I don't make it super formal, because I want you to see and feel and get an idea, and we'll make your showroom unique. Mm-hmm. And these are just ideas that we show in our booth.
Right. Okay, and I just have to ask, so Bloomingdale's for your fabrics?
Yes.
Dresses?
Yes.
Did you design?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So they're going to be, so I've been making them with one of my friends in New York, and he does the sewing for me. And we've made
just small runs, or
small runs. I don't even know how this is going to work, actually. But Bloomingdale's has been a super great support of me. I did a 10-foot shoe for them, a mosaic shoe, and a perfume bottle. I've done their windows 5 years in a row. I did Men's Fashion Week, and they're constantly using me. Mm-hmm. And since they're a New York institution, they want to use New York artists, and they've been an amazing support. And and I've always like pushed my outfits with them. I'm like, see, we need to have them here.
Yeah.
And so I got my chance. And actually, if you see the perfume bottle, the top is a mannequin in one of my dresses. So you'll be seeing many more of them.
And your fabric, did I see you were doing, like, is it upholstery fabric or?
So yes, I'm doing it with Libatex, and it's all upholstery fabric, but it's actually super soft to wear too.
Okay.
So it was never meant to be clothing fabric. It was always meant to be upholstery. But I mean, what's the difference, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all of our patterns in any colorway you can imagine, and they sell it by the yard. Mm-hmm. And so now we're making pillows, and we're upholstering furniture, drapery.
So awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Wowza.
you.
So bringing more technology to your tile business so that people can envision what you're doing, some new ventures using that creativity in different ways. So
I feel like you always need to move into different directions, but stay where your heart is.
Stay true. Yeah.
I love tile. I think tile is art. It really is. I mean, that's the first thing you see, and
especially the way you do it. It is
Thank you.
true artistry. And thank you for carving precious time from a busy show to chat with us and all our live stream audience. We're so
Thank you.
grateful. You're an inspiration. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Allison Eden. Go check her out. It's a must.
Oh yeah, you can see us on Instagram at Allison Eden Studios or on our website at AllisonEden.com. And
you need to follow her. Thank you.
Thank you.
So great to see you.